Hey, folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Victoria 3 as China, or Greater Qing over here. Now, if you'll indulge me, I have been away for a few days, and I'm just getting back into this playthrough, and I thought, let me go and give myself a bit of a recap of the situation, and see how we're feeling about everything. It is January of 1882. Currently, our construction potential is over 500, which ain't bad. Economically, we have no debt currently, although we don't have much in the way of reserves. Running a slight deficit, but just barely, and certainly this would be positive if we weren't undergoing any government construction. Because of our laissez-faire laws, we've got a lot of private construction going on over here, which is great to see. One of the things we might end up needing to do is bolster the paper industry a little bit more, although it's looking okay currently. But we are building a bunch of government administrations. And if I recall correctly, the reason we're doing this is we want to build up a bureaucracy buffer so that we can increase our education institution to the second level and continue to boost up our literacy. One of the reasons we are very concerned with literacy, other than, the normal reasons, and that it's very useful, is that we would like to become recognized. And with this progression meter over here, as far as I understand it, what we need to do is make sure that our literacy is not below 20%, which it is no longer, which is great. But ideally, we'd like to get it above 40% so we can get some ticking progress over here. However, it is unlikely to tick forward unless we make some additional changes as well. So, for example, we need our GDP to go up, our standard of living to go up. I don't believe we have serfdom, traditionalism, or outlawed dissent. So that would be over here. We don't have outlawed dissent. We don't have serfdom and traditionalism, which would be the economic system and the land reform over here, which is good. Whether or not we make a move to homesteading, I don't know. It actually may not be so required. I'm not entirely certain. Worker-owned buildings. Yeah, I don't know. Tenant farmer might be fine until we go to something else, which who knows might be. Maybe we end up with collectivized agriculture later on, or maybe we go to commercialized agriculture. Are we going more capitalist? Are we going more communist? We have no idea at this stage. It's going to depend a lot on, what kind of events happen and what kind of political momentum, I suppose, starts to develop in our nation. So the story of our country is as of yet unknown. So yeah, we're going to keep building these government administrations over here with the idea of boosting that up. And again, I haven't, the mechanics of this new recognition system, I don't know how much progression we'll get if we enforce our own war goal on a major power or above. It doesn't specify the numbers in game over here. And we could go and double check all the specifics otherwise, but I think right now it continues to make sense to just develop these bits over. But our likely target is probably going to be Russia, and it says, just a war goal of any kind. So we don't even necessarily need to take land, which honestly, what are we going to do with land? So I don't know what our demands might end up being as we go. We could just force them to liberate some little tiny nation or something. We shall see as we go forward. And I guess we don't have any interest on East Siberia. So right now we actually can't make any claims on their land over here, but we might end up doing exactly that. Actually, let's go and take a look. What are my declared interests? 3 of 5. Tell you what, let's throw that on there so we'll start to see some options. Let's go and put an interest as well on Indochina over here, which actually seems, it's definitely an area we might have some interest in. Again, as far as I know, we've got all the resources we might need. The one thing that we might be short on later might be rubber. I don't know where all the rubber spawns later. Obviously there's a lot over here. I don't know if we have access to it or if there's any on... Would refer to this area, is this some sort of peninsula? I don't know what collectively this area might be referred to as, but there might be some rubber over here and not just down onto the islands. I'm not entirely sure, and I don't want to know right now because in this period of time, our own people wouldn't know. They well, yes and no. I guess that's not entirely true because... Maybe we can look it up with the goods map mode. It's not entirely true, because right now the rubber good doesn't show up for us, as far as I know, in the regular production, because we don't have the tech. We don't have the rubber plantation tech. However, I guess it would be this way. Can I get rubber to show up here? Sometimes I do wish there was text labels over here. That's sugar. MOPQRS. Steel, small arms, paper, opium, oil. No, so, right? M-O-T-U-V. How does the alphabet go? I don't think rubber is showing up at all over here. Because what we could do, if we went to one of these, we could show potential on the map. right, for something. And I was thinking, oh, we'll show the potential for rubber, but unless I am drinking the crazy juice, I think it's not in there. Or, again, have completely failed to alphabetize things properly, which seems very likely. Apparently, we're going to add the alphabet to the rule of don't math on screen over here. The alphabet's going to be in the same place. Government administration, Yeah, right. So expansion plans. So I don't know what that's going to look like, but we'll worry about that just later on. Tech-wise, what are we researching? Reinforced concrete, which is going to give us a little bit more construction throughput, which seems like a good idea. Yeah, overall, I'm pretty pleased with that. So let's go and unpause. We have some convoy balance. We might want more. I think we've been talking about that. We did build a few more ports to get a little bit more. I suspect if we do build more convoys, more trade will come into play. That interest, or those interests, I should say, are active, which is lovely. We can't bring anything into our sphere of influence because we're not a major nation. We're not recognized. We could do some tributaries and vassalization if things were independent, but I think they're not. There's our reinforced concrete. Lovely. I think we're mostly still going to go on the production side over here. I think the dynamite would be great for us. We don't care about the rotary valve engine because this is just one of the work efficiency modes, which we don't need at all. I mean, I guess I could pop the rubber mastication now just to start getting some idea. Shift work the economy of scale is really good. We got some research progress towards the steel railway cars earlier. I don't think it's anything we actually have to rush towards. I kind of like the idea of dynamite just to make sure our mines stay as efficient as possible here. Jing Steel is losing prosperity, probably because the price of steel is actually a little bit low right now. Now, one way to counter that is I could just go and build some more construction buildings, which might not be the dumbest idea in the universe. The other thing too is if the coal price went down a little, that could help. We do have a shortage. I'm wondering about doing a little bit. If I were to go to coal mines over here, let me switch this still to domestic because I'm looking to employ my own people and sort by earnings. Yeah, we could still get some very valuable coal mines. Let me go and alt click a couple over here. Because first of all, that'll be fairly financially viable. Secondly, it'll bring down the price of coal. Presumably Shaanxi over here does have some of our steel industry, and it does. Now, it's possible the price of coal there must still be decent because it was fairly profitable, as we can see. Explosives are going to be more and more in demand as we do develop the dynamite technology, although this also includes a new mode for the explosives factory, which will help. And the deficit just grew so much more here. We're at minus 16, and now it's gotten substantially worse. I wonder where that is. Did the price of paper just go up? Now, there might be some trades going on. We got some wars kicking out. We've got a deficit of 1K. I'm sort of hoping that the private industry is like, it would be really good? Building paper. But they're working on other things, including explosives, which I can't complain about that part of things. A little bit of demand for census suffrage. I think we will go in that direction, but maybe not quite yet. And we're hoping that these mostly pay for themselves by filling in some taxation capacity, but in practice, I'm not sure that's the case because of the paper costs. But again, I'm hoping they break even. I don't think they'll really turn a profit other than if we did have a negative bureaucracy. The Sikh Empire wants a defensive pact. That's interesting. I'm not sure the Sikh Empire bring much to this. They do have a half-decent amount of troops. Nice cigar, buddy. But I suspect they're not particularly advanced. Leverage generation is interesting. This will be useful if we create a power block, which we can't right now. I think I'm going to go fine for now, because I don't think it helps us. Is that a banana plantation? Interesting. More shipyards? Okay. Wood price is still low. Tools. What we could do is we could build some extra tooling workshops just to help bring up the price of steel as well, right? And improve economy otherwise. But again, I think that's mostly private industry. I think we are correct here in continuing to just churn out these government administrations. So last time we checked, I think we needed about 4.2. Okay, 4.3, and you just actually saw it climb by another point right over there of excess. And I think when I built these, I thought, it's not going to be quite enough, but we'll see. It does take a beat for these things to be fully employed as well. Although because they're government buildings and always subsidized, they should always be able to hire. It might be enough. I guess what I'll do is maybe not in-queue anything else for a second, because we are actually about to go into a slight deficit. Our gold reserves are about to run out. And we should be running a positive number. Based on the fact that this is white, this number should go positive if we're not doing any construction. Oh, you know what I realized? I think maybe there wasn't quite as much private construction for a second. No, that doesn't make any sense. State religion. I don't want state religion. Can I eject you? No, because I think you're in government, aren't you? No, it's because your ideology is too similar to our ruler. That's what's preventing us. So our ruler must be traditionalist? Is that true? He is. Okay. All right. So finish that. Oh, and that is enough. Okay, great. Now, I may want to build a few more just to make sure we've got a bit of a buffer. No, not Social Security. Quill, come on. Education. There you go. Education access goes up. Assimilation going up will also be probably useful for us with the way that we're currently running the country. Because we're not going multicultural, and probably it's unlikely to happen. All right, we are running a positive. Of course, we're not doing any government expenditure right now. So all of our construction is going on the private side, which is fine and cool. Finally burn that letter. Constitutional Association, accused of gross corruption. Oh, this is the scholars' officials. Yeah, we can bring down their boost. Maybe we'll go and fund a little bit of paper industry. That's a pretty serious deficit. There's a little bit of private production, construction going on with it, but how profitable those are. Yeah, let me queue up that much. And yeah, so we're going to go back to spending over here. But in theory, this is going to give us double boosts, right? Because these are going to be dropping the price of a government good while also creating very profitable businesses and hopefully contributing to a tax base. One of the things we're still going to look at is when we're going to make a change to a different taxation system, you know, if they become profitable. Right now, the land-based taxation is definitely the most profitable. If we went to consumption-based, you would lose a lot. I think all these are down, yeah. We need our individual people to get richer, and I think that's going to be heavily, well, it's going to be heavily tied in, I suppose, to the GDP per capita, really. But also, to a certain extent, the standard of living, because that's going to represent the lower strata, which is the most populous strata, getting a considerable boost over here. Whistle stop, agrarian. And that's probably fine. Aggressive campaigning. Sure. Now, the rural folk won't always be the ideal, but I think for now it's okay. How's our legitimacy? So just the landowners, military. I think I want to keep the industrialist in here. Yeah. Although, I mean, maybe there's something else I could swap to for another law, but I'm not sure. What is this symbol? Does this represent that there's an institution? I guess so, yeah. These are all institutions. Right, okay. I don't remember those icons being there before. Maybe they've always been there, or maybe it was added on one of the patches. For all I know, it was even just 1.7. So yeah, I mean, we've got the construction deficit. We've got a tiny bit of gold reserves, but they're going to go away soon. And yes, there's all these unrealized taxes, but again, in theory, collecting those taxes won't actually turn a profit for us. Or, you know, maybe that's part of making the other taxation laws more successful. I don't think that makes much of a difference, though. So part of me is still wondering about spamming out a ton of farms with the idea that they do hire a lot of people. And also, bringing down the cost of these input goods would be good for standard of living, right? I think that might be a good way to go. Still was sort of hoping that the industrialists would take care of it for us. I mean, SFI, they can build absolutely everything. And they're clearly building some plantations. And I mostly want an industrialized nation, but I suppose I have to pay attention to the agricultural side as well. Insufficient construction for investment pool. Yeah, I mean, they really could just take more. Level 2 education. Okay, yeah, we're just barely positive, and it is ticking down a little bit, I think, as population grows and there's more and more demands. So let's alt-click one in Fujian over here, just to get some numbers a little bit more around. I think we'll need a little bit more of a buffer. Guanxi, let's go 1, 2, 3. Get an even 10. It's going to feel nice. Right? Yeah. I can probably cancel this permanent improve relations. We do have the defensive pact. I mean, then I've got all this influence that I'm not spending right now, but that's okay. I really don't want state religion. At all. I mean, it would give me a lot more authority, I think, but what is this? State religion. I don't want state religion! So this will lower the support. It will increase the radicalization. The rural folk would go negative, not so much to create the old ways. That is 5 years, though. I don't want state religion. I'm going to go there. I mean, them becoming radical is bad, too. Technical talents. Engineers and academics, technically inclined petit bourgeoisie, going to align themselves with the pro-China party. Yeah, I think that's fine. Or, sorry, pro-Japan party. I think that's fine. Ooh, this has turned red. Oh! Did I do something that all of a sudden gave me a bureaucracy hit? I don't think any of those decisions came with a negative bureaucracy thing. Did I lose a positive bonus that was boosting my bureaucracy? Did we just lose... Is this possible here? Oh, appeasement of... Oh. Oh! Hang on. Okay. That's not great. I can't improve relations? Because they're already amicable. Could form an alliance. I could request investment rights in Japan, which I think would make these guys happy. I mean, they'd be really happy with an alliance, which would replace the defensive pact. Now, that means if Japan starts a war, they'd ask me to come in. Yeah. I don't like that, because the AI is likely to, like, choose some bad things. I suppose I can always decline and then not actually do it. I mean, that'll piss them off even more, but that may be required. Let me offer them an alliance. Wait. Oh, that's their own faction, isn't it? Okay. I'm gonna say, wait, we have 2 societies here? It's only gonna give a +1? Really? Hey, this doesn't even have a note about our faction thing. They wouldn't care. The lobbies wouldn't care about the investment right side of things. We did refuse a demand a while ago. I mean, I could just build more government offices here. The easiest thing to do would be to get these guys back up to a 5. Which isn't going to happen through doing these changes. Son of a... All right. Well, let's cancel these paper mills. And we'll just build more government. I mean, we're going to need them eventually regardless. I'm just going to keep building some round numbers. Because it'll feel good. Whether or not it's the thing that makes the most sense, I don't know. Okay, let's build that many. And see what that gets us. So yeah, right now, if we weren't constructing, we'd still be losing money, but that's mostly because we're losing, you know, nearly 10% of our tax base. Hello, Dynamite. I think improved fertilizer would be good for us. So, I'm going to go and force... Well, my building queue is kind of full right now, but I bet you're fine. If I go, first of all, with the explosives factories and do this, cost of fertilizer goes up. But that's not necessarily a shortage. And then... Explosives. Well, you know what? The explosives need sulfur, so let's do that first. We'll do the gold mines, because there's not that many of them. And then, in terms of local cost, coal. Yeah, not so much the iron, but the coal mines, maybe. We'll go and dynamite you. That might lead to an actual shortage of goods. Let me do... Come on. Just you. Okay, we're not actually getting a warning about it. No, we're okay. Now, they had been building some explosives. Hopefully they still will. So coal is actually still got a slight deficit. Barely, but it's there. And yeah, there's a shortage of steel, although the inputs should have gotten a little cheaper. Well, those are going to be more gold mines, which I actually might want to queue up manually. We're probably... Yeah, we're in credit now, so we're now paying interest, which I really had been hoping to mostly avoid here. So we still haven't gotten around to dropping these taxes, which I would also like to do, and increase some wages. This is the other thing, I can increase the wages for the bourgeoisie. But I think even then it wasn't going to be quite enough. This is -2, yeah. And then the extra +1 from this, we'd still be one short to fix the bureaucracy problem. Dang. Yeah, they really could use a bigger investment pool. Okay, we're getting a lot of messages about these gold mines. Yeah, that's gonna have to be fine. I don't care about the migrant attraction, so that's not really, I think, something we care about. Probably a lot of people are immigrating to maybe Korea, for example, but I don't think that's really making a dent in our population. This growing deficit is problematic. Oh, okay, hold on. Bourgeoisie are at +2 now. Okay, all right, fine. Tell you what, let's do the alliance here, and let's change the budget and do this. +5, there we go. That fixes that. And might, in fact, save us a little bit of money. It's gonna be tight because we're paying more for them. Again, getting more money into the economy might be good. It might be justified to run this deficit for a bit, but it doesn't feel good. No, we're definitely still running the deficit, and I don't have more levers to pull here. Without scandal, that's fine. They must know. We don't want to invest anywhere else. We want to invest at home. Well, that is quite the deficit here. So much for lowering taxes. Part of me is like, I don't know, we do get more consumption? You know what? We'll tax the opium again. That's not going to clear the deficit, but we will tax the opium again. We could just run in the red for a bit. In theory, it's still maybe getting better because our economy might still be growing. Booming industry. Yeah, get everything on the boom. Well, tell you what, it's had a little bit of time to resettle itself. You think you would lose money. You also think you'd lose money, probably because of shortages, although... I'm still going to go and force this. Increase the demand for explosives, and hopefully make it so that people build more explosive plants. I guess I can go and see the proper queue over here, right? If I go private... Yep, there are some explosive factories. More steel mills, which is interesting, considering the profitability of our corporation is a little low. But yeah, hopefully they're queuing up a lot more explosives. Some plantations. Tooling workshop is fine. Okay, cash reserves. Investment go up. I mean, cash reserve cap is interesting. Problem is, the longer we run with the deficit, the more interest payments go up. And you can see they've actually skyrocketed now. I don't want to raise the taxes any more than this. This could be like the death of our economy, but I also don't want the debt. Because what's going to happen here is our GDP is going to flatline a little. But France guaranteeing our independence is really nice. Let's take a look at our market and see what is most desperately needed. Opium is very expensive. Oh yeah, the groceries and the grain. Now, the groceries consume grain, but they change some of the consumption. It might not be a bad idea for us to go and build the food industries. See how profitable they are. Let's build those. And yeah, oh, great. And then we run a deficit while we're constructing, so maybe we shouldn't. But these should be pretty good for lots of different things. But, yeah, you can see here our GDP has contracted. Oh, did the war just end? Because the call went away. That's interesting. We haven't actually joined. Wait. This is a different war. They must have done a back down. Or something. Because Japan's not in this. Right? Or am I wrong about what their flag looks like? No. Okay. Humiliate Russia. Well, France wants an official alliance. I'm going to say yes to that one. That actually sounds incredibly useful. Maybe they're going to want to get in on our future war against Russia here. Could I just YOLO drop the taxes? Just to skyrocket the GDP? At the very least, I'm going to go back to baseline taxes, not high. Petit bourgeoisie. Okay, if I do this, is it a -1? It is good. So I can drop their wages slightly and still get their bonus to our bureaucracy, which is what we need. And I'm going to go and continue to shift over some of these guys to dynamite. We take a look at explosives. Oh, they're fine. What the heck? Go. Booming industries completed. Good. Explosives factory throughput, all of our mines throughput, military throughput. Iron paper. You know, we'll go explosives right now. I think that's going to be good. Okay. Yeah, red, even without construction, we're going to be losing money. But we'll get the uptick again in GDP here. Improved fertilizer. That's going to be really useful for some of our modes that we're looking for. The economy scale might do huge things for us. We could take a dip down one of these other things. Whether or not this actually helps us financially, I don't know. Actually, central banking with the minting, we do have a fair amount of gold. I suspect we can probably make some more gold mines as well. But I'm going to force these guys, actually you two, I know you think you'll lose money. But we're going to force that. It's going to tank the price of grain. Oh, and then we don't have enough fertilizer by a lot. Hang on a second. Let's set you back, both of you, to the middle tier. And then where are we at for fertilizer? Still a shortage, less crippling. Yeah, there's still no import. Oh, there's probably a mode change for a fertilizer building here. Hold on. Okay, that's still going to be a shortage. But it's better. Can turn on automatic expansion. I'm sorry, did I turn on automatic expansion for paper mills? I did, although... a few more of those might not make the least amount of sense. Okay, then we got a little bit of fertilizer expansion in places where it's theoretically profitable. Let me turn that off for a second. So we're just going to go and do this. And paper, really, the price wasn't that much. Still might overall help us bring down government expenses. And right now, yeah, we're eating the interest. We might be able to get one of our neighbors to help pay off some of these loans. Probably not. It's probably way too much. Agrarian Party is fine. Oh, I really want to bring down taxes more. Not that I can right now, obviously. Can I cancel the welfare payments? Do we have any support for that? 37%. Alright, no Social Security. We're going to try to pass that. And who supports this? Quite a few people. Who opposes it? The industrialists don't like it. Maybe we're... Okay, we'll add momentum to people who aren't the industrialists. And then when the election is over, we'll see if we can pull them out just to increase our odds here a little bit. But yeah, if we cancel that, that's going to help our expenditures. Yeah, in theory, the welfare laws are helping the standard of living. Yeah, so actually, I'll just do this because the scholars completely support it. I'm just going to do that. Oh, does the fact... Hold on. Do the opposition or the people in government who oppose a policy, do they not actually bring down the rate? I had always assumed they would, but perhaps they don't. Success chance goes down. Success chance goes down a lot. Closing workhouses. Crime rate. Yeah. I know, I know. I mean, generally, I'm going to be, like, morally in favor of it for lots of different reasons. But I'm taking a laissez-faire capitalistic approach to the market here, apparently, which is we'll cut back on government spending, lower taxes, and surely that will trickle down. Right? Right? That's how it's going to work. Rotary valve. This is one I don't care about. This new technology. Backroom dealings. Let's do that to get the setback. So we can keep the 26% for now. Decline. And yeah, we're still losing money currently. But hopefully this is boosting the GDP some more. You can see we're back on an uptick here, which is nice. Standard of living had flatlined. And probably it'll get worse without the poor laws. There you go, plus 20% success chance. Anything for the success chance. We don't even care what it's for. We're just trying to boost this up. I think the central banking should do great things for us. And actually, let's take a quick moment. If I can build gold mines, and I can quite a bit, I'm going to do it with government expenditures because it should be pretty good for us. What do you want? They want an embargo against Great Britain. Who's part of the Anti-British Association? Just you guys. You already like me lots. I'm going to say no for now, although maybe it would have been fine. I'm not sure. Religious society. Don't want state religion. They're becoming more radical. I still can't exile you. Make you a general and have you die somehow. No social security. Still not sure that it's helpful. You know, we really could do with more construction sectors, and maybe I should just do that. We'll have to build this with, you know, government goods. But I want the investment pool to be shrinking when I don't do any personal construction. Because it clearly means they could be building more, right? Yeah, I think I've got to do this. Upkeep's basically leaving the same everywhere. Do construction buildings benefit from efficiency of scale? Yeah, economy of scale up to level 30, which we actually can't get there because our construction cap is there, but it feels like there you go. More deficit for now. But probably a good idea. What's my interest payments now? 75K. All right, we now have no social security. And there we go. If we weren't constructing, we'd be turning a profit. We are going to keep constructing for a little bit. And ironically, our construction prices will continue to go up and up. But the idea being that when we're not constructing, the private industry will be able to do more and more. And I'm fine with this investment pool growing when I'm using some of it, but I would like it to be shrinking when I'm not, because that would represent that we have enough construction capacity to handle all this. Because, yeah, we're not typing into our entire pool of capital. We are making the money. We could just wait and burn off a little bit more of this, but I think it's a good sign that, you know, what we should do is this. At the very least, that. I might stop after this. But yeah, let's keep it up. Built so fast. Yeah, I probably should have done this sooner, actually. Okay, again with the positive number. Standard living actually didn't take a dip down, which is interesting, despite the canceling the welfare payments. And I think we did it because we had a huge movement pushing us to do it. Otherwise, I would not in the first place, and I think we'd be much, much, much better off. It's almost burning through all this. Central banking is going to help us a lot. Joint Stone Company does what? Another company, more urbanization? I mean, maybe. What's the next thing that increases? Okay, that's philosophy department. Oh, dialectics. So we can get another level of education. Because actually, we've got the bureaucracy. Now, this is assuming we keep the bourgeoisie happy. But yeah. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. Beijing, we're going to cap you out completely. Now, probably when the full construction is going to the private industry, this is probably going to start going down. But it's got a huge pool to burn off. Diplomatic ties with Canada lost. Okay. No, okay. Yeah, I think I should have done this a lot sooner. But I was leery. But there we go. There we go. And I can certainly support a lot more. But this is making me feel better. And yeah. I mean, really, our economy should be growing really fast right now. Should I just build more? Let this sink faster? I mean, if this is per week. So if this was like a million deficit, it would still last 60 weeks, 10 years. Oh yeah, I should definitely pump this like crazy, right? Well, I think that's going to be the plan. We might need to manually build a little bit more railroads. But let's finish those all off over here. I think that's going to be worthwhile. We're going to put a cut in here. And again, we'll keep doing a little bit of deficit spending for a little bit. Although the interest will get a little bit more crazy. And potentially become more and more problematic. God, I don't know. I'll just do one more province here. Let it reach its cap. Hopefully that's... Okay, yeah, Southern Manchuria. There we go. I will completely do this. We'll get as much construction efficiency from stacking over here. And then we'll wait. That'll be my stopping point for the next little bit. Probably, maybe, unless I convince myself that, you know, economy goes burr is the right thing. And it probably is. Again, the more these guys are able to build their private industry, the more the GDP will go up, the more our tax base will go up. And yeah, tech-wise, we'll get into their school level. I might want to preemptively build a tiny bit more government thing, especially if I'm worried about the petit bourgeoisie going down a little bit more. Oh, wait a minute. We don't have the China lobby or the Japan lobby at all anymore. Oh, okay. Well, these guys might be a little bit more predictable then. Only really caring about what we've got. The low wages. We got a time modifier for the vagrants and wastrels. Land voting, monarchy, no home affairs. I mean, if I did do this and look at the laws, that's something I could consider. Okay, literally none of the laws they're interested in have any chance of progressing right now. Right, because we have a lot of support, but none of these are in government. Although the bourgeoisie could be brought in. That would be the other way to get their boost up, which would lock this in, is if I just bring them into government. Which is an option over here. And then we could, at that point, even push one of their laws, like move out of monarchy. Radicalize the Confucian scholars. We're still very powerful and might be too dangerous. They want the per capita taxation. But again, right now, this would be a loss. Barely, though. Barely. We are moving to the point where this might be valiant. And it'll be interesting to see, like, if I were to set this to low, if that changes some of the dynamics. I don't know. Anyway, I got to put a cut in here. So I'm going to do that. Next episode, we're going to see if we can make line go up. See you soon. Bye-bye.